Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a very simple example of what polymorphism and overriding is. The two terms are kind of related to each other. Well, I mean, at least to me, my understanding is they're one and the same. Polymorphism and overriding methods and behaviors. So this is the child class or the subclass. This is the parent class or the superclass. This class here, okay, extends the functionality of the of the parent or superclass. It extends the functionality. It's very important. Rewind that last 15 seconds and play it 10 times. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, you may say, well, what exactly is the purpose of having this child subclass when it calls the exact same function? Well, the purpose is I could take the exacts are twofold. Number one, what I can do is I can override this behavior. I could redefine the same one. Okay? And the answer of why the heck would I want to redefine the same one when it's already defined up here? The answer is so I could change the functionality. I could improve it. I could make it do something different. The next question is, why don't you change it up here? Why do you have to change it down here? That question I'm going to answer in the next video. Okay? Now, in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to override this out function. So I'm going to go public function out. Okay, so I'm going to have the same one. Okay, and this here end behavior. All right, and I'm going to override it. I'm going to go echo, hey, how's it going? All right. Now in this one here, now what I've done here is I've redefined the same method or behavior, but I've overridden it. I've overloaded it. I've changed what it does. Okay. Yes, I could have done it here, but there's a very good reason I did down here instead. The next video will explain. Now, if I click on refresh here, it's going to say how's it going. The question is, why did it do that? Well, I created a new object based on the extend class, based on this class here. Okay, this is the childish subclass to this parent or superclass, and I am now running. Okay, I am now running the overloaded or overridden method or behavior. Okay, I've updated the functionality. I've changed it. Okay, now if I make a simple modification, if I make this file point to this object here, okay, I'm going to go new HW. Now if I do that, if I click on refresh, what is it going to say? Back to hello world. Okay, now I no longer have access to this overridden behavior. Okay, because this object X is based on the super or the parent class. Okay, just to show you again. Okay, HW extend. All right, there. Okay, not very exciting, but that is an example of overriding an object. Now, what I could also do here is this is the parent and this is the sub or the child class to the parent and superclass. What I could do here is I can not only override or change or update the methods and behaviors that was defined in this class. What I could do is I could also extend it. I can add functionality. I can make this class do things that this one could never do. Okay, and that, well, at least my understanding is that is what polymorphism is. Really fancy word. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go public function. What are we going to make this do? I don't know. Make a loop. Okay, public function loop. All right. And then here is end function. We'll just make a real simple loop here. We'll go for $, I equals, we'll start at 1. Alright, and we'll go $i is less than or equal to 10. So just make it go from 1 to 10. Okay, semicolon, and do this, and then increment $i plus plus. Alright, and then we'll just make the loop go echo break $i. Okay, so now what we've done here is I have a function, I have a loop, and I have a very simple loop. But the key thing is what this function does here, what this method behavior does, is this one adds to the functionality of the parent or the superclass. It adds to it. I don't know why they call it polymorphism, but that's what it does, is adding to it. Okay, this one overrides a method or behavior in the parent or superclass that was defined up here. This one adds to the functionality, and that is called polymorphism. Okay, so what I could do now is I could go, I could run that one. I could go loop. All right, very exciting. Now, what's going to happen if I do this? If you go extend, okay, I change this back to out. Okay, now if I make this, if I make this object point to the, oops, sorry, not out, HW, sorry. If I make this object point to the parent class, and I try to run the loop method or behavior, which is not in the parent class, it's only in the extended child or subclass, will this be able to run? No. Okay. As we know, it's simply not defined, so it's not going to work. Okay. So there is a very simple explanation of what polymorphism and overriding methods and behaviors and inheritance is. Okay.